Well, I noticed, but I didn't want to.
I just remember that being a big part of your story that resonated with me.
I just wanted you to know that's what it
17 years
was.
old.
It's the first leave we've done.
The first what?
First leave. A year leave. We haven't done one of those in a long time.
Well, it's crazy.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Like a sabbatical.
We're not really.
Oh, is that what it's not added? Okay.
Since I've started.
That towards the end of it?
There's only one person
Just told us was absent.
like everyone else. There's no longer the original
They
crew,
usually outgrow them.
and it's kind of sad.
When you get older, they're generally focal
It is what it
seizures,
is.
so their focal point, like his is left temporal lobe.
Okay.
All right,
So
it's
it is
5:30.
specific to one. That's why it doesn't.
All ready?
All
All right. It is 5:30, so we are going to get the meeting started. And the first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next on our agenda is introduction, so we will start with Mr. Ott.
Griffin Ott, Jason Beckrow,
Logan Hendricks.
Greg Eating.
Rachel Wade. Jessica Bigley.
Bill Scaletta.
Scott Allen.
Lori Van Koenig.
Thank you. Next up is to approve the agenda for this evening's meeting. Board members, you have had a chance to review that. When you are ready, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, moving on. We have approval of our consent action items, which for this evening includes the minutes of our March 9th meeting and the financial statements and bills that the Finance and Facilities Committee reviewed at last week's Finance and Facilities Committee meeting. So you have had a chance to look at the consent action items. Any questions? And if not, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support. This is a roll call vote, so Mr. Ott.
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow.
Aye.
Mrs. Bigley.
Aye.
Mr. Scaletta.
Aye.
Mr. Allen.
Aye.
Mrs. Von Koenig.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Sorry.
All right, flip through that. All right. Anyone who comes to our meetings on a regular basis knows what I'm going to say next. Up is the part that most of you are actually here for this evening. Good news about our schools. So what do we have tonight, Mr. Eating?
We're going to start off with our middle school, talking about their recent trip to Washington, D.C. Miss Aaron.
All right, so we took our trip March 4th through 7th, and first I wanted to say thank you to the board for continuing to approve this trip every year. I know it's kind of Lakeshore tradition, but I also acknowledge we definitely can't do this without you. And it was an awesome trip. The last two trips I've chaperoned, I've cried, but it's always been for good reasons. Like, they're good tears, because this group of kids was just such an amazing, amazing group. And we had a lot of fun, and we learned a lot. And I have 4 phenomenal kids who are either coming from an event or headed to an event after this super involved group to talk about their experience. So thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Hey everybody, I have to move this down kind of short. So I am in charge of day one, presenting day one. Thank you. So we didn't do a whole ton on day one. It was mostly just driving, and then we went to the. Oh, I'm Sarai Velasco. Hi. Day one was a lot of driving, 13 hours. I had to clarify before. 13 hours of driving, but it was really fun. A lot of the times driving seems boring, but so you see we made a 4, and then on the next slide, there's a picture of my friend sleeping. That was funny. I asked her for permission, though, so we're good. So yeah, driving, and then we went to the Pentagon Memorial. It was really cool. We got to go at night since we were driving for so long. So we got to see all the benches and everything, and just, it wasn't like happy, but it was really cool to be able to see like that part. Anyway, yeah, and that's me holding the lightsaber that our tour guide had. His name is Christian. He was really cool. Very good. Yeah, and more pictures. That's me, bottom left.
Hi, I'm Amelia Plummer, and on the second day in Washington, D.C., we first went on a tour of the Capitol, followed by visiting the Jefferson Memorial, and then we saw the U.S. Marine Corps Memorial. Next, we went to the Arlington National Cemetery, and while we were there, we saw the changing of the guard. We were a part of the wreath laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and we visited the Arlington House and the Eternal Flame. Afterwards, we went to the Lincoln Memorial, the Korean War Veterans Memorial, and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and in a total, we walked 20,000 steps that day. You can see pictures of us, all of us as a group in front of the Capitol, a group of us at the Jefferson Memorial, and smaller groups of us at the Capitol and at other memorials. One of the huge points of pride for Lakeshore Middle School is we get to lay a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. There are hundreds of schools that apply to do this, but because of the reputation that we have with our tour guide company and their reputation with Arlington, we are consistently selected every single year to do that during a changing of the guard ceremony. And it is an incredible honor. Just for the sake of time tonight, I'm not going to show you the entire video, but it is on Lakeshore Middle School's Facebook page and Instagram pages if you would like to watch it. But it is an incredibly powerful ceremony, and we are so honored to continue to be able to do that every year at Arlington.
Hi, I'm Anna. So day 3 was like packed with a bunch of, things of knowledge. So first we went to the Washington Monument, we went to Ford's Theater, National Museum of American History, Natural History Museum, Holocaust Museum, FDR Memorial, MLK Jr. Memorial, and then at the end we got to go bowling and to the arcade to have some fun. My favorite moment about this day was probably the Holocaust Museum. I got to meet a survivor, as you can see in the picture up there. And it was definitely fun going bowling into the arcade just to reset our minds a little and have some fun. And in total, we walked 16,000 steps. And here you can see the Washington Monument, the Holocaust Museum, Martin Luther King Memorial, FDR, a bunch of fun stuff. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sahith, and day 4 was our last day at Washington, D.C. In the morning, we visited Mount Vernon, which is George Washington's home. After touring Mount Vernon, we started our trip back to LMS. These are a bunch of photos of inside Mount Vernon, and in the top right, it's a photo of the gift shop.
Always ahead. Yeah, so again, we just really wanted to say thank you to the Lakeshore School Board for continuing to approve this trip every year for our 8th graders. It really is a really special trip. We want to thank our parents for trusting their kids, but also for trusting the adults. A lot of the students on this trip, this is their first time they've been this far away without a family member. Maybe they've traveled with a grandparent or with a cousin or an aunt or something, but this is truly the first time they've been this distance without a family member. And so I acknowledge how much of an ask that is for parents, but also how much independence grows in that time and space to do that. So thank you to the parents for trusting their kids, but also for trusting the adults that were with them. So Mr. Churchill coordinated this year. This was his first year doing so. Mr. Graziano has officially passed the torch. And so this was Mr. Churchill's first year coordinating, and he did a great job. So I know he's planning on doing that again. Thank you also to Ms. Woods, Ms. Walensky, Mr. Smith, and Mr. Ebling, who also were chaperones. And two, I just want to acknowledge, yes, it's fun. It's an awesome, fun trip. But when you are out of your classroom, you are also still needing to provide a sub with 3 days of lesson plans. And it is work to be gone from your classroom. So I really appreciate the staff at Lakeshore Middle School. There are always people who step up every year who want to chaperone this trip because truly it is so special. So we want to end with just sharing a learning from the trip.
Oh, because you knew that one of us was going to ask that question.
Your biggest takeaway?
Our takeaways?
Yeah.
One thing that I learned while on DC was I didn't know anything about the Arlington Cemetery or the founding of it. Wow. And we learned quite a bit about it while we were there, and we spent the better half of the second day in DC there, so we definitely learned quite a bit about the cemetery and the house itself and the overall history behind the place, and I found it very fascinating.
Hi again. During my trip to DC, I would say that my biggest takeaway is definitely going to the Holocaust Museum. Right now in 8th grade, we're learning about the Holocaust, reading about it, so being able to see some of that stuff, my mom knows. I ask her so many questions every day. It's like really interesting to me, so being able to see that and like artifacts that they had was super cool. Thank you.
And I liked going to the Abraham Lincoln's house. That was kind of cool. Because, I mean, you always hear, everyone knows Abraham Lincoln, like the penny, right? And his cool top hat. But being able to, like, go to his house and, like, see, I don't think it was the real bed he died on, but, like, a replica and stuff. That was really pretty cool. And so I enjoyed that.
My biggest takeaway was the 9/11 memorial, because it kind of showed us where the planes were and, like, how it actually played out. And so I learned a lot about that.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Board members, any other questions? Oh, I have one. Pretend you're talking to the parent of a current 7th grader, and they're trying to decide if they should let their student go on the Washington, D.C. trip next year as an 8th grader. What would you say to that parent to convince them that they should allow and support their student in going on the trip next year?
Okay, so for me, I would definitely say there's a lot of protection and something about DC, like going, you're kind of thinking like, this is gonna be so boring. We're just learning and learning, but going there, like with the tour guides, they made it super interesting, and the chaperones, and also just the bus ride there and back, getting to meet new people from other schools, getting to like get closer with the people at your school. And I mean, besides the fact that they like tape your doors at night, but yeah, so yeah, thank you.
I'd like to add on to that. I feel like a lot of the parents want to be reassured that like their kids will be safe, because this is a lot of the kids' first time on like an alone field trip, and I'd like to reassure them to know that like our chaperones are really trustworthy, responsible. They like do constant head checks, and so that their kid would be safe.
Very good.
Excellent. Any other questions?
Can I say something as a parent?
Sure.
It was awesome. She could not stop talking from the moment she left.
Awesome.
So it was a good experience. They also got responsibility. So, you know, cash in their hands, having to buy their own meals and do their own things. So it was really cool for them.
So we'll have the 7th grade parents come talk to you, and you can convince them. Perfect.
I was a little terrified, but she showed growth and responsibility.
Awesome.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, nice job.
Our second group of the night is the wrestlers, highlighting our state wrestlers, and Mr. Quinn coming down to
All right. Come on up, guys.
highlight them.
Little girl, too, right?
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for having us. You know, every year I like to bring our team to, you know, honor them. Wrestling is a tough sport, and these individuals work very, very hard at it. So much so that they're the best in the state. One thing that I am very proud of for this year is we have earned the team academic all-state honors. I have the certificate here. I'd like to pass that around. And in addition to that, we had 6 regional qualifiers for boys, 2 regional qualifiers for the girls, 2 female state qualifiers, and 3 male state qualifiers. Of those 2 females, we had a 3rd place finisher in Emma Baker. And Marley Flaga, who's on the soccer team, who's competing today, she went from not winning a match last year to being a state qualifier this year. So hats off to her and her work ethic. For the boys, we had 3 state placers, or 2 state placers. Pilot Swab placed in 3rd. He is now a 3-time All-State wrestler with 1 state championship. Yep. And a state finalist in Chase Jacobs at 106 pounds, who ended up taking 2nd to a very good opponent, but Chase Jacobs. And we just want to thank you guys for all the support. You know, there's wrestling here at Lakeshore High School has been a pinnacle of the community, and to lead this program and to be a part of it is just a blessing. And working with these kids day in and day out is a blessing, and they mean a lot to me. And I'm excited to be their coach, and they are open for questions.
Any questions?
106, you're going to stay there for next year? Okay. I had to ask that, I'm sorry.
Do you guys realize what the accomplishment of that, you know, having that team GPA of 3.5 is, with all the practice and everything you do? I don't know if anybody can realize how hard that is to maintain that academic accountability, as well as to perform at the level that you guys did this year. So congratulations to all of you. That's pretty impressive. And to Coach, you are creating some of the best young men and women in this community, and you've given back to the community, and you do it every year. And I've seen it firsthand, where you engage them with things out there, not just with wrestling. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much for the way you do things, Coach.
Awesome. Does take a community, though. I do want to thank all my assistants and the volunteers that do assist us, because it's not just, you know, it's everybody, and it's a whole program effort. So thank you for the kind words, but it takes a whole village for this to happen, especially the parents. I want to thank the parents of these individuals who came tonight. Also the individuals who aren't here, because it just shows the dedication that they have to the sport and their commitment, and ensuring that they stay on top of everything that we expect of them.
Awesome.
You know, the grit and the tenacity and the perseverance and the problem solving that you guys learn through wrestling are skills that will help you in your wrestling career, but also skills that will help you as an adult in your life in any endeavor that you embark upon. And so congratulations on the accolades, the accomplishments, but also the skills and the tools that you are developing in yourselves. It's really important and impressive.
Awesome. Congratulations.
All right. Oh, we got one more.
One final thing. We do have a West Point individual who is committed to going there.
Awesome.
Joel Cloyer has committed to going to West Point and serve our country as a Army officer. So
thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
And families, you are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but you can also leave right now if you want to, and we will not at all be offended.
All right, nice job.
Next up on our agenda is our superintendent's informational report.
Thank you. We have entered the after spring break time that includes a lot of standardized testing. I can tell you, watching just before the meeting started, I saw Mr. Blood kind of doing a subpoena. Like when you're trying to issue a subpoena to somebody, he was giving M-STEP materials to some of the different principals that came in for some of our special ed kids. I thought that was kind of funny. These tests are stressful for students and staff and include a change in daily schedules and routines. The district has a scheduled half day of school tomorrow, Tuesday, April 14th, to accommodate all the schedule issues for the PSAT and SAT tests. Of course, we work hard for our students to have the knowledge, skills, and environments to achieve their best results. This time of year also includes enrollment for the upcoming school year. On April 22nd, the district has a meeting for all parents of incoming kindergarten and Young 5 students. This meeting is designed to provide information on our programs and to explain the next steps for student placement and enrollment. And then our official Young 5s and kindergarten roundup will happen on Monday, June 8th, where parents and students can attend any of our elementaries to visit the building, see their spaces, and take part in activities. Next week, our Schools of Choice window opens from April 22nd through May 17th. Families who do not live within the Lakeshore boundary can apply to be a Lakeshore student. We have openings at each grade level and will provide acceptance letters to those families after the May 17th deadline. For more information, families can read through the enrollment section in our website. And this is definitely an exciting time of year with spring sports getting started. Our robotics team is doing awesome and ranked in the top 10 of the state and will be headed to the state championship soon. And our performing arts are gearing up for their spring performances. And before we know it, we will have graduation.
It's looming out there, isn't it? Thank you. Next up on our agenda is the report from our student representative. So Logan, what do you have to share with us this evening?
All right. My hands are a little sweaty from talking about graduation right there. But this past month, I met with the 8th grade student leaders to discuss their experience, involvement, and perspectives on their school. Overall, students shared that the school provides strong support and a wide range of opportunities. They highlighted access to clubs, extracurricular activities, band and choir, and a variety of classes as key strengths. Students also emphasized the ability of the school support system, such as the Academic Support Center, and noted that the school encourages giving back through donation opportunities and social efforts. Students spoke positively about the middle school student council, which has grown to around 72 members. They described it as a student-led group where members create their own ideas, organize fundraisers, and vote on school initiatives such as dress-up days. Students shared that student council allows them to express their opinions and play an active role in reshaping the school environment while also recognizing peers through initiatives like Lancer of the Week. When reflecting on their favorite experiences this year, students mentioned practicing in track, organizing events such as the candy cane sales, helping at lunch tables, planning dress-up days, and presenting to the school board. These opportunities have helped build leadership skills and increase student involvement. While students shared many positives, they also offered areas for improvement. Some expressed concerns over the use of styrofoam lunch trays and also like the single-use plastic that we're using too, while others would like to see more advanced class options and additional hands-on courses such as home ec. Students also noted the need for more volunteers or support staff to better help school activities. Overall, the 8th graders described a positive school environment that offers strong opportunities for involvement and leadership, while also identifying ways the school can continue to grow and improve.
Thank you. Now, was that the last group of students that you'll meet with?
I'm planning on meeting with Roosevelt's leaders next
Gotcha.
week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't grill you about your overall experience until next month.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, next up, the superintendent informational report is a presentation on student enrollment update.
Yeah, we have Tracy Althouse coming in to provide that information. I think the slides are in your packet too, board members, in case.
I'm going to flip this over here, so I don't have one of the click thing to click. So this will be our presentation for enrollment projections. We're going to start out with some Lakeshore historical data. So this is the past 10 years based on our fall count. So we started 16-17 with 2810 students, and for this fall count we were at 2584. So again, we can see that similar to the rest of the state, the trending downwards of declining enrollment. Again, this is an overall state issue. Our professional staff count right now is at about 171 FTE. You'll see that there's a asterisk and then CS. Those are contracted service staff. That's mostly because we have difficulty finding qualified candidates, or we have some people still getting their teaching certification. So again, some of that staff count, there's also some contracted services in there.
Awesome.
One thing that Facility and Finance asked is if I could look back to what our projections were for the past 4 years compared to where we're at right now. So I looked at our 21-22 projections for the 4 years, And as we can see, our actual count has been typically higher than what we've projected. Typically, we use the projected blend, and that was from Dr. Fred Ignavich. And again, that is a conservative estimate of student count. The most likely, he does a most likely, a low, and a high, and it's a combination of the most likely and low. But if we look at that most likely trend, it is extremely close to what our actual numbers are. So
Thank you for pulling that. That's really fascinating to see.
it was. I expected a little bit more of a difference, but it was quite similar. Unfortunately, this year, Dr. Fred did have some things happen, and we were unable to get our projections from him. So we actually used two different ones. One's Munetrics, which houses a bunch of our data, and the other was Michigan Alliance. Michigan Alliance is approved by the state of Michigan as one of the 5 to use for enrollment projections, and I'll explain some of that methodology shortly. So Munetrics relies partially on birth rates to predict the future, where Michigan Alliance actually looks at a smooth growth model for our kindergarten and young fives, and then for for first grade through 12th grade, weighted persistency rates, either based on 2 to 3 years. Who was in 4th grade last year will probably project what 5th grade will be, and they look at the past, again, 2 to 3 years, depending on the method, to determine what the student count will be for those grades. One reason Michigan Alliance has switched from birth rates is due to school of choice, as well as declining enrollment and transient populations. So they have shifted from birth rates. In Lakeshore, and I'll show here shortly, we used method 5. So they give you 5 methods, and method 5 is the average of 4 methods. Just a little bit of historical data up there. Again, we saw that at the beginning, but this goes grade by grade for the past 5 years, current year plus 5, and says what's the average annual change in that grade. So we can see where most of our grades are around that 1% average every year from year to year to year. So Michigan Alliance, I'm not going to go through the methods right now, but again, it looks at a smooth rate and a weighted persistent rate based on either 2 to 3 years. And then method 5 is averaging all of those. A little bit more actually putting a visual to those methods, we can see where method 1 has negative 8% growth in the future, where method 5 has 5%. So we can see those differences, and again, that method 5 is that middle average that we'll use. The district-wide projections from Munetrics versus Michigan Alliance is above the first year for 26-27. You can see they're basically within 1 FTE, and then start to spread out a little bit as one uses one method, one uses the other. So for the next 4 years, we go basically from 2577, probably closer to that 2496 number. We can see that also based on our different grade segments, the first one being that Y5 kindergarten through 5th grade, and where our projections land for the next 4 years. Again, about that 1152 to 1058 is the high, and 1150 to 996 is our low with Munetrics. 6-8 is similar in terms of going from about 620 to 614 to approximately the same amount. So a little bit of a dip, again, just based on where the grades are right now and where we'll be fairly consistent in middle school. 9th grade, Michigan Alliance trends up, where Munetrics goes up a little bit and then shifts downward. But again, fairly close in their FTE overall. Historically, if we look at the elementary for the past 10 years, this year we had 52 class sections, with our class ratio being about 21.7. Again, still a very very good class ratio number, and very consistent in what we've had in the past. The middle school is similar, around 26 for a class ratio, a little south of 26. Classroom teachers, 32 again. Very consistent with what we've had in the past. In our high school, our class ratio about 22.4 with the classroom teachers close to 42. So again, fairly consistent trends when we look at the past.
And that's with band taken out for the high school.
Well, band is actually in there for the high school, so it does skew it, but that's a great point. So band does skew that classroom average. If you'd like, I can get band out and let everyone know what that would be.
Any other questions for Tracy?
Tracy, is this a trend that you're seeing across, our county, our area, our state? Could you clarify that a little bit?
It is. It's across our county and across the state, the declining enrollment. So that is a Michigan problem for, I believe, 86% of the school districts across the state.
Thank you.
So people, we're just not having enough people having kids, or they're leaving.
Yeah, there's a lot of out-migration that
A
plays
lot
into
of
that. Yeah.
a lot of out-migration.
Other questions? I appreciate the thoroughness with which you explain the methodologies for projections, and that there is a science piece to that, right? There's a lot of quantifiable data that goes into that, but that there's also a little bit of an art to it in terms of what data do you look at, what don't you? The one method that uses birth rates, the other that says, no, that's not a reliable calculation for this. So we appreciate that you are looking at multiple kind of methods and trying to make some of the best decisions based on the best data we have available to us.
It is difficult, especially when you do have two differences of how they do it, but to see that they're fairly close makes you feel much more comfortable. And then we will be doing our own internal projections as we receive information back, especially in our elementaries, in terms of sheets that we get back, and in the high school and middle school where we get students picking their classes. So once we have that information, we'll have a third projection of where we will be at student count, and then we will all decide and look at that data, what's the best to use going forward for our 26-27 projected count.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, moving on. Oh, yes. Moving on to our Board of Education reports. First up is our Facilities and Finance Committee. Mr. Ott, could you please share that report?
Sure. On April 7th, the Facilities and Finance Committee met, consisting of Rachel Wade, Lori Von Koenig, Greg Eating, Tracy Althouse, and myself. Tracy presented the district's monthly financials, including cash receipts and expenditures, cash flows, investments, sinking fund, and bond summaries, with nothing of concern noted. The upcoming classroom furniture bid pack was discussed, as there have been many meetings as well as a lot of teacher feedback. There will be a package presented to the board tonight requesting approval. In addition, the list of possible bond projects was examined, including roofing, locker replacements at the middle school and elementaries, as well as window, film, and night shades for additional security area building entrances. The committee reviewed the district's 26-27 enrollment projections, which Tracy just presented, and Greg gave a brief update on negotiations, as there will be an all-day meeting soon.
Thank you. Dr. Beckrow, could you share the report from the Student Success Committee?
Yes. Student Success Committee met on March 24th. Present were Bill Scaletta, Jessica Bigley, Jaron Blood, Natalie Maserata, Greg Eating, and myself. Mrs. Maserata led a discussion on the Literacy Summit that she directed with elementary administrators and literacy coaches. The Literacy Summit is where the team reviews the previous year's literacy goals and growth, and then takes time to determine new goals for the upcoming school year. The committee also learned about curriculum updates happening at the secondary level in math and science. Mr. Eating discussed the staffing communication specifically at elementary level that will be coming out regarding sections for the 26-27 school year.
Thank you. Mr. Scaletta, could you please share the report from the Culture and Leadership Committee?
Sure can. The Culture and Leadership Committee met on April 10th. Present at the meeting were Susan Toothman, Greg Eating, Griffin Ott, Lori Von Koning, and myself. Mrs. Toothman led a discussion on all the things that the district is doing to promote and support our employees. This includes the Best of the Best award that is given out to 4 employees every other week. These awards come from the nominations of the employees' peers. We are also promoting the special days each month. For example, we posted the National Paraprofessionals Day on April 2nd, National School Librarians Day on April 4th, the National Assistant Principals Week of April 6th to the 10th. This all ties into our strategic plan of retaining the best people through a culture of recognition, appreciation, and support. Mrs. Toothman also highlighted a great Herald Palladium article that focused on our high school principal, Jerry Holtgren, who focused his discussion on creating a culture focused on the success of each student, both academically and in life. Mr. Eating updated the committee on various discussions regarding the staffing for next year.
Thank you. Board member professional development. The board members have the opportunity to share insights or key takeaways from any recent professional development activities or training sessions that they have attended. Anybody participate in anything in the last month?
Oh, sorry.
I did one. I did a webinar through MASB, and I can't even remember the name of it because the information was basically about taking a significantly failing district and turning it around, and all of the things that they did to turn it around. I'm like, we do that, we do that, we do that, we do that. So there really wasn't much for me to share with all of you tonight other than good job, everybody. All right, we have some personnel updates. Mr. Eating, what do you have for us?
Yes, we have 2 retirement announcements. Janine Harrison is retiring again from her 3rd grade position at Stewart Elementary at the end of the school year after her initial retirement in 2018. We are fortunate enough to have her return to the same classroom in 2022, and we thank her for those additional years of service. We also announced the upcoming retirement of Director of Operations Nick White at the end of the calendar year. With nearly 27 years of service to Lakeshore, Nick's impact on our operations and facilities has been significant. We thank both Janine and Nick for their commitment to the district.
I think both of those deserve some applause. And though he's pretending he doesn't hear
I
us
think
clapping
Nick's
for him back
actually more excited about not having to get up in the morning for driving around in the weather rather than going to a school board meeting. So, I mean,
But you're always welcome to come to a
You're
school
always
board
welcome to
meeting,
come.
even after you've retired.
just don't, just don't provide public comment. I'm just kidding. No offense, guys. No offense. I'm just new certified staff hire. We have secured a second certified staff hire for the upcoming school year. Natalie Fultz has accepted the elementary special education social skills behavior teaching position. She received her bachelor's degree from Ball State and her master's from Indiana University South Bend and has been teaching in Elkhart, Indiana. Pretty excited about that one. That was a great hire for us, I think, and she'll be starting in the 26-27 school year.
Excellent. Any questions? If not, I would accept a motion to approve the hiring of Natalie Fultz.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, next item.
Administrator Director contract renewals. I recommend the following administrators and directors continue their employment into the 26-27 fiscal year. High school principal Jerry Holtgren and assistant principal Mike Voda. Middle school principal Allison Aaron and assistant principal Tim Keithley. Hollywood principal Ben McIntyre. Roosevelt principal Rachel Kinsel. Stewart principal Carol Fetke. Chief Operations Officer Tracy Althouse. Human Resources and Communications Director Susan Toothman. Curriculum Director Natalie Maserata, Athletic Director Greg Younger, Food Service Director Pam Griffendorf, Operations Director Nick White, Student Services Director Jaron Blood, and Technology Director Chris Quartermain.
Any questions other than to remove Nick's name from that list?
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
Well, he's actually going to start the year.
He's still starting the school year.
He's retiring at the end of the calendar year.
Gotcha, then we'll leave your name on there, Nick.
He's like, "Ooh."
I was thinking it was the end of the school year, so
Oh,
my
sorry.
apologies. We're not trying to push you out faster than you want to go, trust me.
And Tracy, it says Chief Financial Officer, not Chief Operations, so you don't have to take Nick's job.
Okay, given all of that, everything that's written down here that you all can't see, but board members, any questions? And if not, I would accept a motion to approve all of that.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, moving on.
Yes, Hollywood elementary teacher Hillary Burkett is requesting a full leave of absence for the 26-27 school year to pursue certification as a board-certified behavior analyst, which will allow her to implement behavioral supports and strengthen our district's ability to serve diverse learners. The letter that she wrote, which I transferred from an email into the letter you see on the following page, kind of explains that a little bit more, but pretty happy for her, and from my viewpoint, something I would fully support.
It'd be a great skill to have within the district, for sure.
Yeah.
Any other questions, board members? If not, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, moving on to quarterly budget modification number 3. Tracy, it's all yours again.
Okay, we're actually just going to stay on this slide, as typically budget modification 2 and 3 are fairly small in terms of what we're doing. The first one and the last one typically are the ones that we really fine tune, obviously for the last one and the first one, especially this year it was, we got a state aid act, or like couple days before presenting to facility and finance. So again, that one was a fairly large one. For our projected revenues, it's about a $500,000 difference, $550,000 from budget modification number 2 to budget modification number 3. This is some pass-through money from MIPSR, so we did get another adjustment, as well as Filters First. We finally received our first payment of over $100,000, and we're putting in a request. Actually, I put one in Friday for the remainder of the grant. This work has already been completed. It was done partly last school year and at the beginning of the school year. Nick led that effort. Our projected expenditures, again, about $500,000 from 37.7 to 38.1. This is actually a small reclass in budget modification number 2 because we had a reserve from the board on the excess equity to go over to our public improvement and reserve for curriculum and PD. So to make it kind of apples to apples, because the expense showed up in budget modification number 3, there was a reclass. So I just want to note that you don't see the reserve because I moved it up to kind of make it easier math to follow and not as difficult to explain. The net change is about $50,000 to a negative 1.9 to a negative 1.86. This usage of fund balance was deliberate, as we started out with almost a 16% fund balance, and we wanted to recognize all our staff, the cost of living adjustments. So that was a deliberate usage of fund balance. Right now, we show our fund balance at the end of the school year about 11.12%. That will be fine-tuned as we move into budget modification number 4. So that will get, that should be slightly higher. I wouldn't say 3-4% higher, but will be slightly higher.
Any questions? If not, I would accept a motion to approve budget modification number 3.
So moved.
Support.
And this is a roll call vote. So Mrs. Von Koenig?
Aye.
Mr. Allen?
Aye.
Mr. Scaletta?
Aye.
Mrs. Bigley?
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow?
Aye.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, approval of furniture purchase.
Yes. This says, following an extensive selection process involving teacher surveys and showroom tours. I would say that's an ongoing process at the current time. we recommend the board approve the not-to-exceed purchase of classroom furniture totaling $999,200 for each elementary school and $350,000 for the middle school and high schools. Installations would happen this summer for the elementary buildings. Just to provide a little bit more context on that, we're going to install what we can this summer in the elementary buildings, and then in some of the days we have off, like our PD day and the day before Thanksgiving kind of days in the fall, kind of finish up in some of those days this fall. But I don't think we're going to get every single situation in elementary done this coming summer. It'll be close. So installations would happen this summer for the elementary buildings and start this winter for the secondary. This investment utilizes projected savings to provide modernized base packages and teacher-selected add-on storage and seating, enhancing the learning environment across the district. The total amount you'll see is 3.9 and change, which you'll go through in a second. And again, the reason we're doing a not to exceed is because we have a couple of fine-tuning things to do yet. So.
This is money coming from the bond.
Yes,
correct?
this is all bond money. Yep. So this is a lot of work that has been done by Tracy, Nick, and the OAK, our construction management team, and King Scott, our design team, and their work has allowed us to save quite a bit of money on the bond and getting good bid prices. We've had a lot of our projects go under budget, and some of that leftover money we thought would be great to be able to go directly into the classroom in this way.
And you said you believe that total amount will include any needed funds with the discussion that's still ongoing? Did you get it built in there?
we inflated that a little bit to make sure that we can cover it all. I'm not saying we inflated a lot, but I asked them to put more of the high number into that, which allows us by the end of the summer basically to have those numbers tied out a little bit so we can finish up the bond about a year from now. So.
Any other questions? I appreciate the process that was used to get to this point. Greg, your leadership in managing that process, managing the communication with the staff, giving them the opportunity, multiple opportunities for various types of information and input and say into this process, and to all of the staff who took advantage of those opportunities and really kind of spoke up and shared their needs, shared their perspectives, shared their opinions, and got us to a place where we're going to be able to make some important things happen.
Nothing's ever perfect, and we're not going to make everybody happy. We know that. I will just say that I appreciate Nick and the whole design team to be able to come to multiple meetings and kind of figure it out together. And that's past and going forward too. I mean, this isn't done yet. So I think we are putting this together now in April so that we can go forward with doing PO purchase agreements with moving forward, but not having to wait until May to do that. So.
Excellent. If there are no other questions, I would accept a motion to approve, and the official amount is not to exceed $3,924,944.
So moved.
Support.
And this is a roll call vote. So Mrs. Von Koenig.
Aye.
Mr. Allen.
Aye.
Mr. Scaletta.
Aye.
Mrs. Bigley.
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow.
Aye.
Mr. Ott.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
And then we have a recommendation to purchase 10 passenger vans. At the recommendation of Operations Director Nick White, we recommend accepting the lowest bid from Enterprise Car Sales in Grand Rapids to purchase 2 used 2020 10-passenger vans totaling $62,666. I think we were looking for one, and we found 2, and when you find 2 of these vans, you take advantage of them if you can, because they're hard to find.
Absolutely. Any questions? If not, I would accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
And this is another roll call vote, and so I'm going to go the opposite direction. Mr. Ott.
Aye.
Dr. Beckrow.
Aye.
Mrs. Bigley.
Aye.
Mr. Scaletta.
Aye.
Mr. Allen.
Aye.
Mrs. Von Koenig.
Aye.
And I vote aye.
So quick.
All right, and I believe we have one person registered for public comment, so Ryan, the floor is yours.
Thanks for waiting, Ryan. I told you it'd be about 45 minutes. I was
It's
3
pretty
minutes
close.
off, man.
My name is Ryan Kitron. I'm here on behalf of the YMCA Greater Michiana tonight. I wanted to thank you guys for your partnership with us and what you guys do for the community and the partnership we share together with our Y Club programs, which is our before and after school care, our SOYI, which is our Schools Out Wise In care we run on half days and full days, and then our summer camp, which is a huge impact in our community. Tonight I just want to take a couple minutes to share our numbers from these programs. So this year our Y Club program, we run AM and PM care. We've been able to, we've had up to 70 participants throughout the school year. So you can see there's a clear need in our community, and we appreciate your support in helping us run that program. Our Schools Out Wise In program, which is, again, we run care when you guys are having half days, full days, PD days. We've had 64 different participants throughout the whole school year this year. And then our summer camp, which highly focuses on our Lakeshore and St. Joe communities. Last year we had around 164 different participants, with about 50 to 60 of those campers being Lakeshore students. So again, it just shows a major importance of these programs in our community, as we have many working families that need this care. They play a major part in our community, and I want to take the time to thank you guys for the partnership and helping us out. And then I'd also like to thank the transportation department, as transportation's a major need. The Lakeshore Transportation Department has been awesome the last couple of years, assisting us with training for our staff, for anybody that wants to get bus training and is willing to help drive for our pickups for our Y Club programs. And then recently we have purchased one of your buses, so again, a major thank you to you guys as you help support us in our need of transportation as well. So thank you for all you guys do for the community, and we appreciate everything that you do. I'm going to hand it over to Zach.
You didn't know you were going to talk.
I was not on the agenda. Sorry. But I just, on behalf of the Y of Greater Michiana, we are so grateful for all the work you guys do in the community as a board and as a community. And it's like a reunion here. I'm seeing all kinds of folks that I know. So you guys got a great crew here, and whatever we can do to support you in the community, we're grateful for you guys in the community. And if I keep the same mojo that you ask questions or what has been learned, I'm learning right now about special ed law with my friend Jaron and Rachel regarding some inclusion work we're doing with 4-year-olds. So we'll see how that plays out, because that will impact the community, and we're grateful for that. So I'm learning. All right, good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you both for the work that you do with the YMCA. Both my boys both did the before and after care program and the summer camp. And you're right, it does fill a huge gap for families with 2 working parents who need that care. That's a really important service and opportunity for our kiddos, and they still have great memories of both of those. So thank you very much for everything you guys do.
I will just have to say it was about a little over 2 years ago when we were having the discussion with the Y, and we brought Nick into the discussion to have, hey, how can this work to get our kids from Lakeshore Public Schools over to the Y? And I think that was a really cool plan that we came up with, and there's been some twists and turns with it, but it's worked out for our kids, which is really cool. Then we had a bus. I know your bus broke down. We had a bus that we were looking to sell, and that all worked out as well too. So good timing for everything. So thank you for all you guys do.
All right, that brings us to the end of our meeting. So I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Support.
All those in favor? Aye. I'm assuming there's none opposed. So thank you, everybody.